Media. Hello, and welcome to the Media Channel. I'm your host, William Hugh. You know, whenever you have to do a piece to camera, it's very easy to end up with a lot of footage like this. In this episode, and the infect. Because we can do it through the magic of digitary thing. You could, of course, save yourself a lot of time, grief and video footage by using an Autocue. Autocues, aren't they very expensive, I hear you say? Well, normally, yes they are, but there are some extremely cheap workarounds. For example, if you've got one of these, or one of these, and most people seem to these days, then there are plenty of apps, both paid and free, that can convert your device into something very like an Autocue. Now, I use one called Teleprompter Pro. There's a free version and also a paid version if you need more features. Now, I haven't been paid to say this, I just prefer this particular app, but there are plenty of others out there, and most have free versions, so it's well worth trying a few to see which you prefer. Now, when you use these apps, providing you don't sit too close to your camera and you have your device placed just above the camera lens, then it's very hard for your viewers to detect that you are looking at your device and not at the camera. The only real problem is, how do you get your device to dangle at that sweet spot just above your camera lens? Well, this is how I did it. I based my design around an old tablet case I had. These are very cheap to buy and can be found on eBay for just a few pounds. If you're planning to use your smartphone instead, then you will of course need a smartphone case and adapt the design accordingly. The only bit of the case we need is the holder here, which pulled off quite easily. The other stuff you will need are a length of 21.5mm PVC pipe, and I got 6 feet of this for just a couple of pounds. 2 PVC 90-degree elbow joints, 2 PVC pipe brackets, a couple of 6x40mm nuts and bolts, 2 plasterboard screw plugs, and 2 small wood screws. Before we start on construction, we need to check that the pipe brackets will have a solid grip on the tripod stem, as this is what will hold the Autocue on. As you can see, the bracket fits the stem, but it is very loose. Now we need it to grip tightly so that its position can be adjusted. So grab some pliers or a wrench and, squeezing the bracket closed, hold it over a source of heat until it softens and closes a bit. Now douse it under some cold water so it retains its new shape. Okay, let's try it now. There, a nice solid grip, just what we need. Now we've got our bracket sorted, we need to cut the PVC pipe, and we cut it like this. One section approximately 12 inches long, one about 4.5 inches long, and one of about 6 inches long. Now, none of these measurements are set in stone. These are just the ones that worked for me, but feel free to modify them to better fit your own camera and tripod combination. Next, take the tablet case and drill 2 holes like this. These will be used to attach the casing to the pipe. We can now place the case over one end of the 12-inch pipe and use it as a template to drill 2 holes in the pipe like this. Now place your plaster plugs in the pipe and line them up with the holes you've just drilled. Now, using the 2 wood screws, we can attach the case to the pipe by screwing through them both into the plaster plugs, like this. And that looks fine. Now take the 6-inch tube and drill 2 holes approximately 3 inches apart. If we now grab the brackets we modified earlier, we can use the nuts and bolts to fix them to the tube like this. And there you go, so that's all the fiddly stuff done. Now we just need to assemble the bits. Take the 4.5-inch tube and attach an elbow to each end, facing different ways, like this. Now attach one end to the tablet case tube and the other end to the brackets tube. And there you have it, you're done. No glue needed. Now all that's required is to clip the assembly to your tripod, clip in your tablet or phone, adjust the eyeline, and away you go. So there you have it, how to make an easy peasy autocue for just a couple of quid. And as you can see, it's a lot easier than learning lines. Well, that's all for this episode. Now don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time on the Media Channel.
Media.